Hello, everybody. It's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly episode. It's episode number 220, and it's for June the 27th, 2023. Little shook up today. We had an interesting day yesterday. I got an emergency notice on my watch that Walter had been in an accident. Now he's fine. He's fine. I'll just say that right now. But we'll talk more about it probably on Stephen and Walter live on Sunday, but just to let you know, it was a very crazy day yesterday. An old lady T-boned him. The car's a write-off, but thank God Walter is fine. He'll probably be a little sore this morning, but luckily we have my car, and of course now we have to go through all the rigmarole of insurance and everything like that. So it looks like there might be a new car in Walter's future. He wasn't planning on buying one right now. Yeah, I was thinking last night about all the different complications this is going to create in our life. Just because some old lady decided she was going to jet out into oncoming traffic for no apparent reason. Yeah, we'll talk more about that on Sunday on Stephen and Walter Live. So let's get into today's episode of the Idiot Quilter. Two things to show you. Let me just get them up here on the screen. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, here we go. This is the African Table Runner. It was a kit that I bought at the Canadian Quilt Show. I got a frog in my throat. Figures. Excuse me for doing that. So, as I said, okay, back on track here. So, I bought this kit at the Canadian National Quilt Show, and it is African fabrics, and I talked all about those fabrics last week on various episodes. And yeah, it's all done. It's quilted, it's bound, the whole bit. Kind of a stupid pattern in the sense that, well, the pattern isn't stupid, but it was incomplete. All the pattern had with it and in the kit was to do those four, I'm doing it again, have those four columns, and that was it. There were no borders or anything. And didn't even talk about borders. Quite frankly, I think this kit that was put together by Meerkat, they cheaped out on it. I really do think that. Luckily, I had bought other African fabrics, so I was able to add a couple of borders to it to make it more complete. And the border, which is the same as the backing fabric, is not African fabric, but it was something I had in my stash that looks somewhat like what I was using in the Table Runner. I did quilt it on Loosey. I debated on putting it on my domestic machine to do sort of stitch and a ditch or walking foot, but I really wanted to do feathers on this, and so I did put it on Loosey, did feathers, and well, Loosey did the feathers. I didn't do them. You know what I mean. And I did them in a color that kind of blends into the fabrics, because I didn't want to take away from the fabrics because they're already very beautiful and a little bit busy. Anyways, just going back to talking about African fabrics, will I buy more of them? Probably not. And here's why. They're extremely expensive, $23 a meter from Meerkat. You have to prep the fabric before you can use it. You've got to wash it, which means you got to wash it, you got to dry it, and you've got to press it. It does make the fabric very soft because there's a lot of sizing in this fabric. It's the technique that's used to make them. They're beautiful, but you know, there's other fabrics out there that are less expensive and less prep time that are just as beautiful. Now, I do have another kit. The other kit is for a small quilt, and I will do it at some point in time. And yeah, but as far as going out of my way to buy more African fabrics, at least from Meerkat, don't think I will. And I understand why they're so expensive. I get that. But yeah, I'm basically lazy. I don't want to have to do all the prep work with them. You know, when I want to make a quilt or a table runner or placemat or whatever I'm making, I want to get right at it. The heck with all this washing, drying, and pressing stuff. That's just me. Okay, and here's the back, so you can get a little better idea of the feathers. I did alternate rows as of feathers. And I think that's, do I have anything else to show you? Oh yeah, here's another close-up. This gives you another better idea of what it looks like. And here's a close-up of the front with the feathers. And this is my other project. That is, I just got the pieces finished embroidering them. This is a in the hoop machine embroidery project. I believe it is a design by Juju. Could be wrong, could be Sweet Pea, but I think it's Juju. You do it all in pieces. Takes a while, and then you have to sew all the pieces together. So what I'm doing right now is, and I thought I might have this done before today, but things happened yesterday that kind of disrupted the day. So I'm going to put the backing on it. I'm going to do a little stitch in the ditch around each of the blocks just to hold the backing on, and then I'll do a binding. And it will be done. And I'm thinking this might be a nice gift to give to my sister, because my sister gets right into Halloween things. She does a lot of cross stitch for Halloween and displays like that. So I thought she might like this as well. We'll see. Okay. So what's that bring me to? What's happening? Okay. Tomorrow, Wednesday, which is June the 28th. Yeah, had to think about that. It's Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, and that starts at 9 a.m. The link for it's in the show notes below. All are welcome. And how long we'll be on for, don't know. Might be 2 hours, half a day, the full day. It depends on a lot of stuff. And right now, my schedule for the week is a little up in the air because of what I told you about at the beginning of this. So we'll see how things go. We had a pop-up sew day on Saturday. It was lots of fun. I think we had a record number of people, or close thereof, about 34 at the height. It was a great day. I always learn a lot of things. People that are on there enable me a lot. Didn't do too bad this time. I only bought a couple of embroidery files, and that was about it. But always learn something. We had a nice discussion about the featherweight. A lot of you have featherweights and are very willing to share your information and knowledge about them with me, which I appreciate. And yeah, so it was a great time. Next pop-up sew day, not sure. Thinking July the 15th. Not absolutely sure about that yet. So you will know when I know. And I'll be putting that information out about 5 days or so before the actual pop-up sew day. Okay, that brings us also advanced warning for Craft and Chat, which is coming up not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday on July the 5th. So there will be a link for that next week in the show notes, and I'll be sending out an email next week as well to everybody on my mailing list. If you want to be on my mailing list, my email address is in the show notes below. Feel free to drop me a line and I will add you to that. A couple of things about Craft and Chat, though. Well, one thing, I am debating whether to end it or not. Okay, I started Craft and Chat back, during the pandemic. A once a month kind of a thing in the middle of the week for those of you that could make it in the middle of the week, and it's been great. But we've been doing Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen now for couple of months, I think, and it's a regular thing. We do it every Wednesday. So I am thinking of collapsing Craft and Chat, and it'll just become Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen every Wednesday. There's some advantages to that because it seems kind of stupid for me on a Craft and Chat day to end Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen and then make everybody log in to a different Zoom address for Craft and Chat, because essentially it's the same thing. Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen is the same as Craft and Chat. We're just a bunch of people getting together and working on our projects. I'm going to talk to Stephanie about this a little bit more. Maybe we'll change the name of Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen and call it, I don't know, something else. But I will have to discuss this with Stephanie and see how that works out. The one thing I'm a little afraid of is that I am kind of making a commitment to be here every Wednesday for a sew-along kind of a thing. It's not really a sew-along because we're all working on different projects, not the same one. So it's a bit of a time commitment. whereas Craft and Chat was once a month. However, generally speaking, it's not a problem for me, and I do enjoy them. So anyways, right now, nothing has changed. Everything is the same as it has been for the last little while. So if I do make a change, you'll be the first to know. Okay, and I mentioned the mailing list. I have a new mailing list. It's not really new. If you're already on my mailing list, there's nothing you need to do. I had two mailing lists. I had one for Craft and Chat, one for Pop-Up Sew Day. The thing is, there's a lot of overlap because many of you that were coming to the Craft and Chat were coming to the Pop-Up Sew Day and vice versa. So you were getting two emails all the time because I'd send out the notices for Craft and Chat to both groups. A little bit redundant. Plus, I realized that over time, I've got duplicate names. So some of you were getting as many as 3 emails at a shot from me that were all the same. So what I have done is I have created a new mailing list. I have put all the information, merged it into this new mailing list, and I went through and eliminated any duplicates. So if you get 2 emails from me for the same thing, let me know. That means I missed somehow and I'm duplicating work. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. It makes my life easier, and I think it'll make your life easier. You won't be so annoyed by getting multiple emails in some cases for the same event. Okay, so that takes me to my demo this week. So you know I've got a featherweight. I've been talking about it, gifted to me by my friend Colleen out in Charlottetown. Love her a lot. Not just because she gave me gifts. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. She really made our trip out east to Prince Edward Island really worth it. She did. Anyways, I now have the featherweight sitting in a place of honor. You can't see it right now, but it's over this corner. It's right there by the doorway. I had a Keurig sitting there before, which I wasn't using. So the sewing machine has gone there for all to see if they come into my house, because usually they come down to my sewing room or they go into my rec room, and so they will see it. And I made a little plaque saying who it was from, what type of machine it is, when I got it, where I got it, that kind of stuff. So it's there in a place of honor. I am going to do something on it. I haven't got around to it yet. I'm going to get that table runner out of the way. I've got a couple of things to quilt on Loosey. When I have those things out of the way, I think I'm going to do a small project. I might try making, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know that at the quilt show I bought about 3 new dies, and I have another couple of dies here that I haven't done anything with. I might use those dies to cut out the shapes for a couple of blocks and do the blocks on the featherweight, just to get a feel for it. So we'll see how that all works. I still have to maybe slap a little oil on it. It runs fine, but yeah, probably needs some oil. I don't know how long it's been sitting without being oiled. And I got to read that part in the book because there's several different oiling points on this machine. It's a little bit more involved than our modern machines. So in the meantime, though, does it so? Many of you have been asking me, does it actually work? Yes, it did. Right out of the box, so to speak. Came with a case. So I thought I'd show you. So I'm going to insert a little video I made here. Sorry about the sound on this video. It's not the best, mainly because the way I had to do it, I didn't have as much access to my microphones in the way that I do when I do this. So here's the featherweight. Sewing machine all set up, the featherweight. Let's see if it sews. Now I do have a 1/4 inch foot on here. This one has a guide. I bought it on Amazon. It's specific for a featherweight, it said, and it seemed to attach with no problem. So I'm going to put the fabric in. And we'll be a little awkward about this because the foot pedal below is really only has one little spot where you can put your foot on. It's more like your toe. It's very awkward. But anyways, I'm going to drop this. And looks like it did. And let's try it on another. Make a little 4 patch here, maybe.
Very awkward. So. I miss not having a thread cutter. There is a thread cutter on this, but it's very awkward to use. I might get one of those little ones you attach to the side. Okay, let's take a look at this 1/4" seam. Now, of course, I should have used dark thread or darker fabric, but it looks pretty good on both sides. So let's just open this up. Give this finger press. Get that piece. Press it the other way so my seams will lock. Line it up. And find that presser part. Pretty quiet, this machine. Okay. Good work patch. We got things lined up pretty good. Yep, it sews. So that's really great. And this is, I've done minimum to condition this. I haven't added any oil to this since I got it. I haven't done any cleaning up the mechanism inside, although I took a look inside. I don't think it really needs that much cleaning up. I will look in the manual, see how to oil it and do all of that. But yes, it sews. It makes a very nice stitch, really. I know it's very difficult to show it to you on the camera. You can see it there. But yeah, very nice little machine.
So stay tuned for more adventures of Stephen and his Featherweight. Okay, so that takes me to subscribers quilt of the week. I almost didn't have anything this week, and lo and behold, this morning when I got up and checked my email, Doug from Down Under, that's what he calls himself, he sent me a series of pictures showing his completed tree skirts. Now, I have one of these that's not completed yet. Another project I should be working on. It's an In the Hoop project. Doug does a lot of machine embroidery projects, and they're beautiful. Well, Doug doesn't just make one of these skirts. He made 3, and he sent me pictures of those and another project, and I'm going to put them up here for you to enjoy. So there's Doug's 3 tree skirts. They came out gorgeous. Here's a close-up of one of them. And you can see the detail that's in these and why I haven't finished mine. This is the one I'm making, and I haven't finished it yet. In fact, I kind of forgot all about it. Well, we're, what, 6 months away from Christmas? Maybe I should get on with that too. Dig that project out. Maybe if I did a little bit on it every day or something, or maybe on the days when we're doing sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, I can get it done. Now, Doug did write a note about this. He says, just sending a few attachments of the finished 3 Christmas tree skirts on my last finished quilt wall hanging called Savannah Sunset. Have started a new embroidered quilt, Tree of Life, mainly embroidery and stippling on both sides. This project is Anita Good Designs design, and this will probably take a few months, more than likely. There is an extra section that can be overlaid to this design with extra leaves to the tree with family names to make it very interesting as a finished product. Would probably be more of a wall hanging piece than a quilt. So let's take a look at, what's it called again? It's called the Savannah Sunset. There it is. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. It's breathtaking. And the work and the time, I just know. And I think he sent a picture of what it looks like on the back, and he's used fabric that's printed. I don't think it's African fabric, but it's got an African feel to it. But just absolutely lovely. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Doug's next project. So thanks, Doug, for sending these pictures of your beautiful creations. I don't know how you have any time to do anything else, because as I've said, the time it takes to do one of these is tremendous, but the end result is well worth it. So thanks, Doug. Okay, so that takes me to YouTube of the week. All right, this is actually a video as part of a YouTube channel. And well, here, let me just put it up here for you to see. This week's YouTube channel of the week is not so much a channel as it is an excerpt from the channel. And this comes from somebody that I'm sure most of you know called So Be It Quilts. And they have done a really nice review of various rotary cutters. And you know, there's a lot of rotary cutters on the market. And picking one that's right for you is not easy. Also, they're expensive. So you don't want to make the wrong choice because you've wasted the money. So they do a really nice review of a variety of different rotary cutters. Now, there are some problems with this video from my point of view, and this is not a criticism, but I think they should have stuck to one size of rotary cutter because they mixed sizes, and also some of the things that they were doing, showing left-handed cutting, that kind of thing with a right-handed person, may not have been an accurate assessment, but those are really minor details, and they don't claim that this is a scientific study at all. It's just what their opinions are of the various rotary cutters that they own. I really liked it. I thought it was an excellent video, and I think it will help you to choose if you're going to invest in a new rotary cutter. It might help you to get the most bang for your buck if you check out this particular YouTube from So Be It Quilts, or I should say video from So Be It Quilts. So I hope you will support that channel as well, because they have lots of great videos to check out. Okay, let's see, future projects. All right, this one's called Loosey Goosey Table Runner. It's from Meerkat. Oh, wait, you've already seen the finished product. Yes, you have. But here is the pattern, so you'll get an idea of what I was saying about it earlier. This week's future project is one of the kits that I bought at the Canadian Quilt Show in Halifax a few weeks ago. And it's called the Loosey Goosey Table Runner. And it's by a company that's here in Canada, very near to me actually, in a place called Alora. And it's Meerkat, and I can't say the other name. I think it's Shawishwa, I'm not sure. But they are a mom and pop shop that offer African fabrics, and that's why I bought this kit, because I really love the African fabric look. Now, this is not a free pattern. It does cost $5, but I've put the link to where you can buy it from their online shop in the show notes below. But let's just take a look at this. It looks, I looked at the instructions already, and it's basically cutting fabric into strips and into squares and doing a little corner detail, as you can see here. Here are some other pictures of what the finished product might look like. I really love that. I think that's really cool. And those are the fabrics that I got in the kit. They showed two colorways with different fabrics, but this is the one that I got. And I just love the look of the African fabrics. Now, they don't include, I don't think, enough fabric for the binding. Here it is in the other colorway. But it's a very simple pattern, but with a very dramatic effect, because it really shows off the African fabrics very well. So if you want something a little different, and you don't have to use African fabrics for this, you could use whatever you happen to have in your stash. But if you want something that I think is probably very quick and easy to make, then this might be the pattern for you. Loosey Goosey Table Runner pattern by Meerkat. Now, normally at this point in the episode, I'd be having a little teaser for my latest interview. Well, I don't have any interviews right now. However, I should have an interview for next week, because I'm conducting recording an interview this afternoon. So look for that next week. Again, I'm always open to suggestions for people to interview, so you can send those along to me as an email message. And also, while I'm talking about suggestions for interviews, I need some more subscribers quilts to show. I'm out. As I said, if Doug hadn't sent me that this morning, I would have nothing for you. And I love showing your creations. They can be quilts, they can be garments, they can be bags, they can be placemats, they can be table runners, they can be knitting, they can be crocheting, they can be paper crafts, they can be anything that shows your creative talent and what you're working on. And don't be shy. I show everything in a positive light because they're always great. So, yeah, consider it, please. One picture is all I need, and a little blurb about it, 50 words or less. That's all it is. Okay, so let's go to my review of an online quilt store. This is a company that I actually checked out their booth at the at the quilt show. They were featuring an Innova long arm machine, and which blew me away because this long arm machine doesn't just long arm, it embroiders as well. Also, the price blew me away too, like $70,000. So I won't be getting one of those anytime soon. And Lucy and I have a great relationship right now, so I'm not replacing her anytime soon. But it was fascinating. But they do have an online store, and this store is geared more towards people who have long arms already because they sell a great selection of wide back fabrics. It's called By the Bolt, and here's my review. This week's online quilt store is really more than a quilt store. It is a long arm quilting sales and service place, and I saw this particular company called By the Bolt at the Canadian Quilt Show in Halifax a couple of weeks ago. And I was talking to them about their Innova long arm, which was a fantastic machine. This machine, and they show it here, or one of the models of it, does not only allow you to do long arm quilting, but allows you to embroider on your quilt as well. And I thought that was fantastic. But this comes at a price. If you bought the top of the line system, computerized the whole bit, it would cost you 70,000 Canadian dollars. So I don't think there's one of these in my future at all. But let's take a look at what they have to offer. Now, as I said, they're a long arm quilting service. So you're going to find things like rulers, parts, and thread, but they do have some fabric. And I'm just looking at the home page right now, and they're showing some various pictures. So let's check out their fabric. We'll click on View All. Of course, as you would expect, they do have a selection of wide back fabrics. And I'm not sure where this company is located. We should check that out first. I think they're Canadian. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. About Us. Yes, they're in Guelph, which is not that far away from me, about an hour and a half's drive or less. So that's good. They definitely are a Canadian company. Let's go back to the fabric. And as I said, they have a good selection of wide back fabrics. And it looks like they average $14.99, and I'm assuming that is a meter. Oh, no, it's not. Well, no, it wouldn't be because it's wide back. Pricing is by the half meter. So it's basically $30 a meter, which is not unreasonable. That's the price you will pay in most places. You might even pay a little bit more in other places as well. I love this one. I might have to order some of it. We need to check out the shipping. We'll do that in a minute. Then they have your regular fabrics mixed in here too as well. Now they have 14 pages of fabrics. Let's just go up to the top and see how it's organized. Price low, all. Curiouser, Mad Hatter Tea Party. I'm assuming that is Tulip Pink. They have solids, they have Tulip Pink, wide back. Okay, they may not have the greatest selection of fabrics, but again, they are a long arming service, not so much a fabric place. They do have Robert Kaufman. Well, okay, they've got, like I said, they have 14 pages, and it looks like they've mixed, if you do they've mixed in their wide back with the regular fabrics as well. And regular fabric, that's wide back, looks like, okay, let's pick a print that's not a wide back. $5. quarter meter, $20. So regular fabric looks like it's upwards of $20, maybe a little bit more a meter. Okay. I'm wondering if I click on shipping here, whether we're going to price will be shipped within 48 hours via Canada Post. Okay, but that doesn't tell me what their shipping costs are. We'll look at that. Well, we'll take a look at that right now. Um, okay, shipping policy. That's all they have for shipping policy. It's by Canada Post, but they're not giving us any indication here of what that would cost. So let's figure it out. Let's just do something like this one. And let's buy 2 meters of that. So let's buy the quarter meter. Add to cart. View cart and check out. Okay, check out. And let's see, payment method, shipping method, standard. Okay, 3 to 9 business days, $20. $20. Okay, I'm wondering if that is a flat rate or if it increases by the amount you buy. So let's go back and let's increase this. And it's okay. Let's just double it. Okay, so there's 4 meters. Check out. And it's still $20. I didn't see anywhere where it said that you could you get free shipping over a certain amount. Doesn't look like you do. Okay, let's just remove this from the cart because I really don't want to order that. Let's go back to the menu. Okay, let's check out their thread. I imagine they handle glide. Yes. Glide is their thread. $16.99 a spool. $16.99. That's a little pricey. And bobbins, $17.50. That's not bad for the bobbins. But 5,500 yards of thread. That's about standard of what but I don't pay that. Or do I? I pay close to that, I would say. So not unreasonable. Okay. And they seem to have a good selection of colors. Rulers. Well, if you're long arming and you want to get into ruler quilting, they have them all here. Brand is, they're not telling us what the brand is. Okay. Rocket. Oh, Billy. Oh, Silly Moon. Okay, I kind of figured it would be Silly Moon because Silly Moon is a Canadian company. So I would suspect that they are trying to handle Canadian products. And Silly Moon has a good reputation for quality rulers for ruler work. So let's take a look at machines. Okay, you've got to contact them for their pricing. They handle Innova machines, which I believe Innova are part of Brother. I'm not absolutely sure about that, but I think so. Okay, they're not showing any pictures of the machines. So yeah, you'd have to, well, I'm sure you would not buy a long arm sight unseen on a website. So they're just letting you know how to contact them to find out more about it. And I imagine in their actual store, you would be able to see the machines because they had them at the quilt show. Okay, what else? Parts and accessories? Well, yeah. Oh, but under parts and accessories, they have batting and needles and usual parts you'd expect for a long arm. Okay, let's just check their batting. Okay, so it's Hobbs Premium 80/20 batting. And okay, if you want king, it comes pre-packaged, pre-cut. King size is $62. But let's see, and they only have king and queen is $36. So yeah, not a lot of selection here in batting. Let's just go back. Anything else of interest here? Not really. If you're a long armor. Now, if you live in the area and you want one of their machines, I would definitely be supporting them for that. They do have classes, they say. Okay, well, yeah. Classes are held at our shop based on teacher availability and interest. If you have a specific request, please reach out to us directly. Upcoming class, computerized quilting using Autopilot Mach 3. I guess Autopilot Mach 3 is their version of Quilt Path, like I use on my machine. Free motion ruler work. Sign up for upcoming classes. Click here. And then they get back to you and let you know about that. Okay. So really, the only reason you would probably go to buy the bolt is if you are a long arm owner. If you need some wide back fabric for a project, or you need some glide thread or some rulers, I think this might be a spot you might consider, especially if you live in the Guelph area in Ontario. So that's by the bolt. So that brings me close to the end of this episode, but just before I go, what's coming up in the next week? Well, next Saturday is Canada Day here in Canada. Where else would it be? It's like the 4th of July, except the Canadian version of it for us. And Sean, the guy who sews, has asked me to be his special guest on his Saturday morning live this coming Saturday. Because it's July the 1st, he thought he should have a Canadian on, and apparently I'm the only Canadian he knows. So yeah, so I was honored that he asked me, and so I will be on his show. That starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday morning. If you can't make it at that time, there will be a replay. And I'm going to actually do a little mini trunk show showing my Canadian themed quilts that I've made over the last few years. And there might be some other little Canadian surprises as well, because, it's me. So you never know what to quite expect, do you? Anyways, that's going to be a lot of fun. And as I said, that's this Saturday, July the 1st, 8 a.m. So I hope you can be there and check it out. And yeah, what else is coming up? Well, of course, there'll be an episode of So Chatty on Friday. What we're going to talk about, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll talk about Walter's new shed. Is he shed? Yeah, they're coming today to build it. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, because it's also looking like it's going to rain. So I don't know what's going to happen. This week has started off not well. I should have known that yesterday was not going to be a good day, because I did an idiot move. This has nothing to do with quilting, but I was making my morning coffee in this cup, my Idiot Quilter cup, pulled it out of the cupboard, put it on underneath the coffee maker, started up, turned my back on it, turned back around and thought, oh my goodness, is that ever a full cup of coffee? It doesn't usually fill it right to the top like that, to the rim. Yeah, I had put the coffee cup upside down. So the coffee was just cascading over the bottom of the cup with it being upside down. Could have been a real mess, but on that coffee maker, there's a big drip tray underneath that's fairly deep. So it caught the mess, which was a good thing. Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. I'd like to say I don't usually do stupid things like that, but you and I both know that's not true. Anyways, before I expose any more of my idiot moves, I'm going to say goodbye. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you for So Chatty and for Stephen and Walter live later in the week. Bye for now.